All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, with the 2021 National Football League season officially in the books, the future of the Indianapolis Colts quarterback Carson Wentz is in limbo. Following the Colts' collapse to the end of the season, which saw them lose their final two games, including that finale against the Jacksonville Jaguars, team general manager Chris Ballard was non-committal to having Wentz as a franchise starting quarterback going forward. Now, last offseason, the Colts traded for Wentz, and in doing so, they sent multiple draft picks to the Philadelphia Eagles, one which is now a first round pick in the upcoming draft this spring. The Colts went 9-8 with Wentz under center this past season, but he'll be remembered for failing to lead the Colts to victory in either of their final two games of the regular season, as a win in either one of those contests would have sent Indy to the playoffs. Now, what is more telling about Wentz's season is that in the 9 wins for the Colts, running back Jonathan Taylor gained more than 100 yards, while in each of the Colts' 8 losses, Taylor was held under the century mark. The hope was that the reunion with Colts head coach Frank Reich, who was the Eagles' offensive coordinator in Wentz's first 2 seasons in the NFL, would result in a turnaround for the former second overall pick, but that was not the case. And that is a big reason why more than likely Wentz is going to be one and done in Indianapolis. Now, the Colts will have to make the decision by next month in regards to paying Wentz or releasing him or possibly trading him. Wentz's $15 million base salary is set to be guaranteed on March 19th. Now, Wentz is still under contract through 2024, and a trade would mean that the Colts would have to eat some of his salary. Now, going into next season, you have to ask yourself, is Wentz still a starting quarterback or is he a backup? And these are relative and important questions that you have to ask if you're interested in Wentz, because I'll say it like this: no team is going to trade for Wentz and have him be their backup. That's the bottom line. Or go in there and just simply compete for a job. If you're going to go out there and trade for Carson Wentz, you obviously believe that he's going to be your guy going forward. Right now, I simply don't see a team willing to trade for Wentz. I think what's going to happen is that teams are going to sit back and see what the Colts are going to do. And at the end of the day, they're going to try to call the Colts bluff. Are they willing to just simply release Wentz, have that dead cap space, and move forward? And the reason is because if you really do want Wentz, you can then go out there and get him for a song, meaning getting him for relatively cheap, having him come in and compete for a potential starting job next season, or possibly being a backup. Like I said before, and I will continue to say it, this is unfortunate because you go back and look at what Wentz was in 2017. He was 11-2 as a starter. The Eagles were rolling. Carson Wentz was playing like an MVP. And ever since he hurt his knee in that contest against the Rams that afternoon, he has just not been the same guy. There was hope that the change of scenery would do it. Wentz still had a solid season, 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. But the thing was, he never elevated the game of the people around him. And when the chips were pushed to the middle of the table, he consistently came up short, which is not going to get it done. I think a change of scenery is going to happen once again. I think there is going to be a little bit of humbling for Carson Wentz this year. Not to say that he's an arrogant or cocky guy, nonetheless, but I think it's a situation Wentz might have to be a backup for next season, or Wentz might have to go into training camp with one of these clubs and compete with the starting quarterback to see who is going to get the job. So it's going to be interesting to see. This is a fall from grace. And, the thing is, it sounds like the Colts may have leverage, but they really don't. I look at it like this: time is ticking. This is mid February, mid March, late March will be here before you know it. And that is the $15 million question surrounding the Colts and Carson Wentz. And if the Colts are really serious about parting with Carson Wentz, you know what? Kudos to them, and I'll tell you why. because they went out there and they made the trade figuring Wentz would be their guy. But after one season, they're realizing that, you know what, he is not their guy, and they're willing to cut bait as opposed to trying to make something fix or make something work that is not going to be fixed. So let's see where this works out for the Colts. Let's see where this works out for Carson Wentz. The Super Bowl is just a few days behind us, but already we have some very interesting stories heading into the offseason for the National Football League. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.